we go out there and everything. And that's one of the things that people don't think about at the Grand Ole Opry is what a...
Put up traffic, so long story short, I said, pull off in the grass and I'll talk to you.
He opened up about the 5 legends who stole his heart, names that'll take you right back to those golden Opry nights. Stay with me, because this list is pure country soul. Folks, if you've ever tapped your foot to a classic country tune, you've probably heard Jimmy Cap's guitar without even knowing it. Born in Benson, North Carolina, back in 1939, Jimmy picked up the guitar as a kid and never looked back. He was on that Opry stage for the first time, just a wide-eyed teenager strumming alongside the greats. Over the years, Jimmy became the go-to session musician, playing on hits that define generations. Think Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette, The Gambler by Kenny Rogers, or He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones. Yeah, that's his magic touch. Earning respect from everyone who shared the stage with him. What made Jimmy special was his love for the music and the people making it. In those last interviews before he passed at 81, he didn't talk much about his own achievements. Instead, he poured out admiration for 5 Opry legends who inspired him. These weren't just colleagues, they were folks whose talent, heart, and grit resonated with him deeply. Let's start with number 1 on his list, the one and only Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, born in 1946 in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, rose from poverty to become country's queen.
Slim short. So I went over, answered the phone, he said, how would you...
Jimmy worked with her on tracks like My Tennessee Mountain Home, and he always said her mix of humor, kindness, and raw talent set her apart. Why did Jimmy love Dolly so much? It wasn't just her hits like Jolene or 9 to 5, though those are timeless. He admired how she treated everyone like family, from the band to the fans.
I really think the people are going to like it.
Jimmy once recalled a late-night recording where Dolly's energy kept the whole room going, turning exhaustion into excitement. Dolly's Opry journey started in the 60s, and she's been a member since 1969. Her songs often drew from her life, growing up poor with 11 siblings, dreaming big. Jimmy saw in her a reflection of his own humble roots. No wonder she topped his list, she's the embodiment of country spirit. Moving to number 2, George Jones, the possum himself. Born in 1931 in Texas, George had a voice that could break your heart or make you smile.
On the first date, they were bringing this back home. They had been out in a field, and
Jimmy played on George's iconic He Stopped Loving Her Today, often called the greatest country song ever. George's Opry appearances were legendary, even if he sometimes showed up late or not at all in his wilder days. But Jimmy loved his honesty and the emotion he poured into every note. Their collaboration spanned decades, and Jimmy would say George's ability to convey pain and joy in a single ballad was pure genius. Think about George's hits, Tennessee Whiskey, The Grand Tour, White Lightning, each one a story. Jimmy admired how George evolved, sobering up later in life and mentoring younger artists. In the Opry band, backing George felt like being part of history, and Jimmy's love came from that shared dedication to authentic country sound. Now, let's talk about number 3, Alan Jackson. Born in 1958 in Georgia, Alan burst onto the scene.
As opposed to now, it's copycat.
Well, it's cloned, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
And Remember When made him a household name. Jimmy collaborated on several of Alan's albums, appreciating his commitment to classic country. Alan joined the Opry in 1991, and Jimmy saw him as a bridge between old and new. What drew Jimmy to Alan was his straightforwardness, no frills, just great songs about real life. In performances, Alan's tall frame and deep voice commanded the stage, but off it, he was as down-to-earth as they come. Jimmy often praised Alan's songwriting, how he captured everyday moments like fishing or small-town living. Their sessions were smooth, with mutual respect flowing. Alan's tribute to 9/11, Where Were You, showed depth that resonated with Jimmy, who valued artists who spoke to the American heart. These first 3 on Jimmy's list show his taste for artists with heart, talent, and humility. Dolly's sparkle, George's soul, Alan's tradition, they all shaped Jimmy's career. But there's more to this story, as we head into the next legends who rounded out his top 5. Jimmy's revelation came in quiet conversations, not big announcements. He wanted to honor those who made the Opry special. For fans like us, aged 25 to 65 and beyond, this list brings back memories of radio drives, family gatherings, and live shows. Country music isn't just songs, it's the people behind them. Expanding on Dolly, her philanthropy, like the Imagination Library, giving books to kids, mirrored Jimmy's own generosity. He donated time to causes, and seeing Dolly do the same strengthened his admiration. Her crossover success never changed her, she stayed rooted in country. George's later years, married to Nancy, brought stability Jimmy respected. Their duets and collaborations highlighted George's vulnerability, which Jimmy found inspiring. In the studio, George's perfectionism pushed everyone to excel, creating magic. Alan's family man image, married since '79, raising daughters, appealed to Jimmy's values. His songs about faith and love echoed Jimmy's life. Backing Alan at the Opry, Jimmy felt the crowd's energy, knowing Alan's authenticity drew them in. Picking right back up, folks, from where we left off in that heartfelt list Jimmy Capps shared before he passed in 2020, let's dive deeper into the fourth legend who captured his admiration, Vince Gill. Born in 1957 in Norman, Oklahoma, Vince grew up soaking in bluegrass and rock influences, starting his career with bands like Pure Prairie League before hitting it big as a solo country artist. His voice, smooth as silk with that high tenor range, paired with his killer guitar skills, made him a standout. Jimmy crossed paths with Vince countless times at the Opry and in studios, backing him on timeless tracks like When I Call Your Name, which won Vince his first Grammy, or the emotional powerhouse Go Rest High on That Mountain, written as a tribute to his late brother and fellow artist Keith Whitley. That song alone, with its gospel-tinged harmonies and raw grief, hit Jimmy hard because he too had lost close friends in the music world, and Vince's way of channeling pain into something uplifting resonated deeply. What really set Vince apart for Jimmy wasn't just the hits, though we're talking about smashes like I Still Believe in You, One More Last Chance, or Whenever You Come Around, that dominated the 90s charts. It was Vince's humility and his knack for listening, for making everyone in the room feel valued. Jimmy recalled in those final interviews how Vince would finish a take and turn around to ask the band, "How'd that feel for y'all?" instead of just focusing on his own performance. One specific anecdote Jimmy shared was from a late 90s session where Vince complimented Jimmy's subtle guitar lick, saying it was beautiful in a quiet moment away from the microphones. That kind of genuine kindness, without a trace of ego, taught Jimmy that true talent shines brighter when it's aware of the team around it. Vince joined the Opry in 1991, right around the time his career exploded, but he never let fame change him. He stayed the guy who'd jam bluegrass tunes backstage or mentor up-and-comers. Vince's versatility blew Jimmy away too. From his early days touring with the Eagles as a fill-in for Glenn Frey to blending country with pop elements in his marriage to Christian singer Amy Grant, Vince kept evolving while staying rooted.